Hey, welcome into another episode of the Seahawks Show with your host, Todd Fox. That is me. Hopefully, you can hit that like and subscribe button for this episode, and then also tell other Seahawks fans about this page, and please get them to like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. If you don't know, if you haven't watched already, I like to do one of these preview shows just a game or two or day or two before a game, and then also give my takes on the recap and show you what went right, what went wrong on the win or lose or win or loss or tie even with the Seahawks, what they do. So please check those videos out if you haven't seen. We covered the last two losses, unfortunately, against non-divisional opponents, which really puts this Seahawks team in a bind because we have two back-to-back division games like here against Sunday against Santa Clara in Santa Clara, and then we have the Rams just 4 days later up in Seattle. So the schedule makers weren't kind to us, but Seattle's defense needs to improve. A lot of heat on Ken Norton this week because of what happened. 500 yards total offense given up to the Titans, almost another 500 given up to the Minnesota Vikings. Time of possession was heavily in favor of the opponent, and that's why we took two losses. You know, looking at the schedule, I thought Seattle would go 2-1 at this point before they got to Santa Clara because of the fact that I thought that the Vikings game kind of would be a trap game. If we could win it, it was going to be a bonus. But I thought we would beat Tennessee, and we should have beat Tennessee going into Minnesota, but Minnesota effort was pretty bad. I think we need to get Jamal Adams back in the backfield, threatening quarterbacks and doing what he was doing prior. I just think that there's a lack of pass rush right now. The offense goes stale in the second half. The last two games, got to change that. So we're looking for a lot of change in this one. So I'm gonna show you some video highlights if you haven't noticed or seen too much of Santa Clara this year. I could show you what they do right and what they do wrong on defense and on offense. So we'll get into that, and we'll show you what the Seahawks have to do. Show you some highlights here from the Minnesota game for what Seattle can do here. So let's get into that. Here's the first drive right here. Obviously, you see Minnesota threatening the blitz right here, but they're obviously going to pull back because Collins is not in a running back situation. He's more of an extra blocker, but Seattle takes advantage of this play because a nice route by DK Metcalf. He's going to come down here in the slot, do a spin move off the corner, make the catch, deke out the safety, and get some yards after catch, and that's what's going to happen for the Seattle to take advantage of these Niners corners. Niners corners are pretty terrible, by the way. I'll get into that. They are not good in one-on-one coverage at all. We brought this out about the Vikings defense, which their corners are actually a lot slower, and Seattle did not take advantage of that in this game, going deep and going go routes, because by the time they tried to go routes, the problem was they were already down by two scores, and they were in a position to where the Vikings were looking for that. Had they gone to it earlier in the game, they could have put up a really big lead on the Vikings, but they didn't do that. So here's that nice catch by Metcalf. You'll see it again right here. The Vikings playing far off of Metcalf. This is easy pitch and catch. And again, Russell needs to identify that, whether it's the first quarter or not, because he tends to not see those things in the second half. And if he's got to take advantage of it. Here's where Seattle can get beat. On the play action screen plays, Seattle's defenders need to do a lot better job of recognizing the screen coming. And when the offensive linemen are just letting them walk in, fall back and try to get back to either chasing the running back, because there were too many of them in the backfield. That's too big of a gain. There's too many offensive linemen downfield leading the way for the running back. That's too damn easy. Here it is again, play action pass, over pursuing, wide open pass play to the tight end. And again, the Niners will use Kittle, and that's what scares me. Here's an unknown type tight end who's filling the void for their previous tight end who left. I forgot his name, but he was there for years. And he's over there torching and having the game of his life. And, similar to Kirk Cousins is Garoppolo. Jimmy G spot is just as good as Garoppolo, or just as good as Kirk Cousins, I mean. And I believe that you cannot give those guys. Kirk Cousins had way too much time to throw the football. If you're in his face, we've seen it over the years when Seattle beats Minnesota, which they were doing a really good job of prior to this Sunday. They get in Kirk Cousins' face, and he makes mistakes. He fumbles and throws interceptions. Well, Jimmy G spot's the same thing. And see, here's too much time. Flowers playing way off. That's got to change too. He was terrible in all the schemes. Whether you want to blame Norton or you want to blame Trey Flowers, I think there's a little of both. Trey Flowers has just had way too much, gave way too much leeway to the receiver, and then he was playing terrible coverage. Here's a nice little play right here that's kind of gimmicky up the Niners' playbook status. But that's a nice play that always gets a first down. They did that with David Moore last year. Here's what they have to work on: pump fake. The screen's not there. Go downfield. Use your secondary option. Don't always have to go to the screen pass if it's not there. Here's a nice little run here by, obviously we want to see him get going. That's Chris Carson. I almost called him Ben Carson. Nice run right there. Seahawks get a touchdown. You're thinking the Seahawks had a good shot right here, up 17-7. And here again, you give time to Kirk Cousins, but you make a sack. And see, there's the thing right here. That's a coverage sack right there. The coverage is good, but that was a play that, again, this can't happen. Extension of plays. That was a third down, a holding call by Abamadou, what's his name, Amadi. He was on the other side of the field. That continued to drive. Minnesota went down the field easy. Here's another over pursue on defense. Enough blockers were out there. Poor tackling angle there by Adams, which is not something you say most times, but that was a pretty weak attempt at a tackle. And here again is kind of good coverage, but kind of good run protection, but that was just a nice little cutback right there. So the Niners and Kittle scare me the most in this one. I'm not really too scared of Deebo Samuel. Right here, you're just seeing their best receiver get no coverage. He just falls in that stupid zone where there's 4 guys around him, but no one wants to cover him. And that's what Seattle's got to lay off. And right here's single coverage. Again, you're giving a slant way too much. He gave up way too much room right there. The flag came in on Diggs' hit for the Thielen, but that was just a pitch and catch again. You're too much room again. Here we go again. Here comes a blitz. Kirk Cousins identifies it, goes the other way. Easy catch, pitch and catch again. The Vikings were doing this all game. It was very, very frustrating. Here is a 3rd and 8 again, another conversion because, again, playing too far off, not challenging the receiver, not pushing the receiver, not giving your defensive line enough time to get in there. So even if they could rush, they can't because, again, no pressure. You're not bumping running the receivers. Another wide open pass. Again, the tight end torching him. Kittle will do that. I'm telling you, Kittle's going to freaking do that, and it's going to hurt. Here's another easy play again. No bumping the receiver again. Easy touchdown. Just to go back to the other way, and there's that stupid dance we all hate. And then here it is right here. You're just not going to give the quarterback any time. The offensive line has done this a lot in the second half, ending drives early because they refuse to put enough blockers in there. The blocking scheme is different, or they just don't get rid of the ball fast enough, knowing that the blitz is coming. Then here's a give-up play of all give-up plays. Quick screen, not even allowing your offensive line to get downfield. And see how the Vikings did not over-pursue that. They knew it was coming. Here's 27-17. That was a missed play by Wilson. He had Swain way open. I think that would have extended the drive and helped the Seahawks win that game, or at least come back in that game, because it would have gotten a first down, got it to within 1 score. Instead, you give the ball back to the Vikings with a tired defense, and Seattle just has trouble tackling and also filling gaps right there. And you can't allow this to happen again. Vikings, again, extending plays back and forth, wide open, no pressure, just easy to the tight end again. Adams getting torched in freaking coverage. I'd rather see Adams blitzing in. And then you actually get a good blitz, and then you still that's just a perfect throw by Kirk Cousins. You really can't fault the Seahawks right there. They actually had good coverage. Then you see going down here, Vikings again on the run. This is not filling the gaps. Easy, bad tackling again by Diggs. And then there you go right there. And then I think this was what's the next play here? As the Vikings were just milking the clock. This is 3rd and goal. They stopped them. I was surprised they stopped them right there. But that's how you're supposed to play right there on the goal line. So that was at least a little encouraging. And I don't know why I showed you this field goal because, this was just a nail in the coffin. Even though Seahawks could have, if they could have scored before the 2-minute warning, it might have made it interesting. And here's the Packers game right here. Now, I'm showing you this right here. As the Niners will show you this look again. This is how you beat the Niners defense. The Niners will play a lot of man-to-man coverage because their defense is just like Robert Saleh, too intense. And their new coach is just as intense as Robert Saleh, shaking his fist, jumping up and down, being over dramatic on the sideline, trying to get the camera coverage on him because he's auditioning for a coaching job himself. And so he's trying to play off the Niners defense. And right here they are again, single coverage. If you can block like the Packers, now I understand the Packers' offensive line is way better than the Seahawks, but if you can get the kind of blocking the Packers got right here, you can do this all day. The Niners' defense is not good in freaking single coverage. Look at this. Just beat them right there, and you could do that. A good throw will beat them, and I believe Russell Wilson can make throws just like that. Here's a play here with the Niners. Right here, I believe this is Garoppolo. Yeah, this is what they'll do the whole time. They're going to throw down, and here's the same kind of defense Seattle plays. Zone. And for whatever reason, the stupid ass zone always leaves a tight end or the running back wide open in the middle of the field. So this time it's Kittle, and I believe Kittle's going to get a shit ton of catches because he's going to get open like that the entire time with a stupid little, in the first down little, like, I hate him so much. So here's Garoppolo again, back to pass. Easy pitch and catch. That's in the zone again. That's over to Samuel. That's there. I'm telling you, if Norton doesn't change up, it'll be there all day. Here he is again, Garoppolo, but with people in his face. However, he can't deliver an accurate throw. That's the whole key. If you put someone in his face, he will not throw a good pass. Here is again the defense getting torched. They will give up these little passes too. So if they play off, they're very readable, and you can beat that zone that they throw at you. And here it goes again. Rodgers down the field right here. He's got the shotgun. It's obviously going to be a passing formation. Niners drop back 8, but look at that. You drop back 8 and still get that wide open pass. Niners defense is not that good, I'm telling you. They are overrated. Their secondary stinks. They drop 8 again. Rodgers can do what a Wilson does and finds a receiver right there by stepping up. That's easy pitch and catch. Here's a play action. That's an easy gimmicky play, but it worked. Touchdown. Hopefully Seattle does stuff like that. Now, here we go again. Niners on offense. Gimmicky. Gimmicky, 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 gimmicky. I can't say it enough. The more play action passes, the more guys you have in motion. That's what the Niners do to try to convince you. And why do they do so many gimmicky plays, you ask? Why am I calling them so many gimmicky plays? They have to disguise the fact that Garoppolo sucks. He's a terrible quarterback. If he were a straight drop-back quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, or if he were like a straight drop-back quarterback like a Peyton Manning or a Eli Manning, and he has to sit in the zone and read coverages, he's not good at that. The gimmicks gets these guys open, and the fact that the Niners preach for Garoppolo to get rid of the ball fast is because acknowledge where the wide open receiver is, the wide open option is, and get rid of it as quickly as possible because Garoppolo is not a good pocket passer at all, and especially if you get people in his face, he makes mistakes. But see, gimmicks like this to where they can have these two receivers as decoy blockers and these play actions to the running backs to bring the defense up leaves guys like this wide open. It turns into a screen pass just like that. Look at that, Samuel down the field. That turns into a 20-yard gain. Watch the gimmick. The lot of motion. The Niners use all kinds of motion. They got to disguise the fact that Garoppolo sucks. The more guys they have in motion, the more play action passes. It disguises and buys more time for a terrible quarterback. So again, you got to pull the guy in motion, hand off, fake the throw. He faked the throw to Kittle to take away defenders. So that was a gimmicky move again. Here's another gimmicky move right here. Fake there, hand off there because, you got to distract. Kittle with a good block right there. Almost a first down. Watch again the motion or the play action fakes or the, faking right here. Oh, no, that wasn't one of them. My bad. This is just two good throws in a row. I'm sorry. That was him in the pocket with a lot of time. He can make an accurate throw. That was an accurate throw, and here it is again. No pressure again. This is what Seattle cannot do. They cannot allow him to sit back there like this. Look, they rushed 6 guys. He had time to throw, and look at that, easy touchdown. You got to get in there a lot faster. So there you go with a touchdown right there for the Packers. And then let's see, here's Garoppolo again. More guys in motion, fake the play action pass, and that will be wide open all day as well. If you're able, the more guys you're able to at least have sit there and watch as maybe or deke on the fake or at least stay on the fake for a second. That's a second for the receiver to get open. Here's the Niners again, bringing Kittle in motion to try to fake out the defense, thinking they're going to go up top. No, he fakes to him, wide open to use check in the zone. Again, more motion right here, back to pass, fake that way, then look right there, and that's just easy pitch and catch again. So there you go, right there. That's the what Seattle's got to avoid. I mean, it's all about pressure in this game against Garoppolo. It's all about them not allowing the pressure to get in on Wilson and Wilson acknowledging the wide open passes and taking some deep shots when they're there. And for the love of God, run the ball, Seattle. Chris Carson needs to get involved. You only ran the ball 2 times in the second half, and that's a real big reason, a real big worry of mine on how and why they lost that game to Minnesota. So my prediction for this game, I still have faith in my Seahawks to get a 26-21 win. I still think that they're going to pull to 500. I can't see them losing 3 in a row. I just can't. I think Seattle gets it done, and it sets up for a huge game against undefeated Rams, because I think the Rams are going to blow the roof off the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are just, they're overrated, man. They're overrated. They should be 1-2 right now. So yeah, that's my prediction for the show. And again, I don't give no love to the Cardinals. Never have, never will. The Rams will hit their lull at some point this season, but they're just off to a hot start with the genius. So go Hawks, and let's get this sucker done.